A stunning accident in Berwyn Heights. A car crashes into a home, leaving several residents displaced. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, a car loses control and crashes into a home in Berwyn Heights this morning. This is the scene at the 6200 block of Seminole Street. Officials say a white vehicle crashed into the front side of the home and flipped on its side. The driver and the passenger were taken to the hospital for their injuries. The teen who lives in the home but did not want to be identified says he was in his bedroom when he heard a big bang.
My grandpa, he was on the couch. My grandma, she was screaming, and like the car, it was through my house, and people were screaming. So, and people started running too to the scene. So, my grandpa and me and like other people that left, we started helping them, and we got them out.
And the teen also says his grandmother suffered a leg injury but is okay. No word yet on damage estimates. Well, a Prince George's teacher is calling on school leaders to do more to protect educators in the classroom after she was attacked by 2 students last year. Renee Calloway is a music teacher at Potomac Landing Elementary in Fort Washington. Calloway says that on May 11, 2022, she was trying to break up a fight when 2 students jumped, punched, and kicked her in the head, sending her to the hospital with a concussion. At last night's school board meeting, Calloway made this impassioned plea.
As educators, we are charged. I'm asking that before you revise this handbook, you meet with your employees who have been assaulted, survey the needs, and adjust accordingly. We want to educate, nurture, and inspire. That's why we became educators. Please help us feel like you value us and understand that we are teachers, paraprofessionals, substitutes, custodian, food service workers, bus drivers, nurses, guidance counselors, secretaries, mothers, fathers, wives, husbands, uncles, sisters, brothers, grandparents, sons, daughters, not martyrs. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And this all comes as a student was arrested on Wednesday for bringing a loaded gun to Fairmont Heights High School. So far, only 7 high schools have metal detectors. Those include Suitland, Wise, Bowie, High Point Central, Oxon Hill, and Duval. Montgomery County's Inspector General opens 2 investigations into allegations of harassment and bullying by a recently promoted high school principal. One of the probes will review how the school system handles misconduct complaints. The move comes after the promotion of Joel Beidelman, a principal at Paint Branch High School in Burtonsville. 39 current and former staffers say they have been harassed or bullied by Beidelman. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, a Bowie lawmaker is targeting several roadways for litter cleanup. We'll have the details after the break.
If the time comes, be ready. Learn CPR and join the nation of lifesavers. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
Welcome back. Well, Prince George's Councilmember Ingrid Watson is bringing her Pick It Up campaign to District 4. The anti-litter effort is set for Saturday, September 30th. Mitchellville Road is one of the targeted streets. Other areas include Greenbelt, Glendale, and Lanham. Volunteers will spend the morning picking up trash. The aim is to promote community activism and instill civic pride.
And I have a cleanup scheduled for Saturday, September 30th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to launch the Pick It Up campaign, which will actually be ongoing. And what I mean by that is it's an awareness program. So it's not just a one-day cleanup. It's something that we will continue to do throughout the year. I believe it's significant because A, it brings the community together. It brings neighbors together to work toward a greater good and to see the fruits of their labor and actually create that awareness around the problem that they've communicated to me.
And for more information and to register to take part, you can go to the web address on your screen. The county's Office of Homeland Security is looking for people who have what it takes to be a 911 operator. This is from a video titled "Welcome to Our World." It's part of a two-phase campaign which began in May to hire 40 operators. If hired, call takers undergo 6 months of training. For dispatchers, it's a year. Officials say they're looking for people who can work well under stress.
We've received over 1,100 applications for both call takers and dispatchers. People are going through the process. I believe we're receiving about 89 a week, and as more people apply, we'll be able to fill more positions. It's the first line of our first responder family. You're the one who's answering the calls to help save a life, potentially. You're the ones dispatching fire and EMS units, law enforcement units on calls.
And if you're interested in becoming a 911 operator, you can log on to the web address listed at the bottom of your screen. Well, as Child Passenger Safety Week wraps up, officials continue to encourage parents and caregivers to check their child safety seats. All this week, Maryland has been hosting free car seat checks at MVA branches, car dealerships, and fire departments throughout the state. Maryland law requires that children under the age of 8 be in a proper booster or child safety seat. The only exception is if your child is 4 feet 9 inches tall.
So obviously you want to look at your car seat in particular. It's important that as the child grows, you look at the height, you look at the weight, and you make sure that you have the appropriate child safety seat. Lots of good resources. There's actually events that are free where they will check your safety seat to make sure it's installed properly and to make sure it's the right safety seat for your child.
Remember, state law requires anyone traveling with a child under the age of 2 to secure that minor in a rear-facing child safety seat. The Will Jawando campaign picks up some new endorsements. Jawando says he's picked up endorsements from Prince George's council members Crystal Oriatha and Walla Blagay. The Democrat says Riverdale Park council member Karen Mejia is also backing his campaign. Jawando, a Montgomery County council member, is running for the U.S. Senate seat against Angela Alsobrooks and David Trone. Well, did you know that women make up less than 20% of the workforce in aviation? Tomorrow is International Girls in Aviation Day. To celebrate, the Federal Aviation Administration is hosting a Girls Who Drone event at the College Park Aviation Museum. Girls will get the chance to fly drones, simulate flight as an air traffic controller, fly foam rockets, and much more. The FAA says the goal is to make sure that young women feel empowered to pursue careers in aviation.
Girls are told from a young age by different people, by their parents, by influences, by media, in some places by other people around them, that they just can't. And there's absolutely no reason, none, why women cannot go into aerospace, why young girls can't become a pilot someday, why they can't be a mechanic. And especially with drones, there's absolutely no difference between boys, girls, and non-binary children. Absolutely none. Anyone can fly a drone.
And the event takes place tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. For more information, you can visit pgparks.org and search Girls in Aviation Day. Still ahead here on CTV News Tonight, your Friday sports page with Simon Buggs. Stay with us.
Hey there, sports fans, and coming up on your Friday sports page, a recap of the UMD women's soccer game against Purdue that was played yesterday, and also some players from the UMD football team talk about the team's upcoming game against Michigan State. Stay right there.
There is health in togetherness. Staying active and connected to friends and family keeps you on your game and still going strong. Learn how you can stay active, healthy, and connected at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
Well, a man was stabbed aboard a Metro bus last night in Suitland. The stabbing happened on the D14 route near Silver Hill and Randall Roads about 8 p.m. The victim was taken to the hospital for his injuries and is expected to be okay. Transit and county police are working to locate the suspect. Well, 7 years ago this month, NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission blasted off to an asteroid named Bennu. Its mission to collect samples of the asteroid and return it to Earth. After traveling for nearly 3.9 billion miles, the spacecraft is about to deliver its precious cargo, and at least one of the specimens will be heading to NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt.
We actually have close to 1 million asteroids out there, and they represent remnants from the original solar system formation and planetary formation processes. And because of their antiquity, that's what makes them an exciting thing to study. It's a way to go back in time and look at the early state of the solar system and also understand what our planet looked like very early in its days. We launched in 2016, and it took us 2 years to get to Bennu, the asteroid that we sampled. It's very far away, almost 200 million miles. We spent 2 years mapping the surface of the asteroid, looking at its geology and composition and shape and topography. And then we selected a place to sample, grabbed some rocks and dust from the surface of that asteroid, and it took us about 2 years to come back home, but now we're coming back home, delivering those asteroid samples on Sunday morning.
And the public is invited to NASA's Goddard Visitor Center to celebrate the historic asteroid sample delivery. The watch party will be held this Sunday, September 24th at 10 a.m. And you can also catch the event live on NASA TV as well as social media. For more information, go to nasa.gov.
Okay, everyone, it's time for your Friday sports page. We'll start with some college soccer news. The UMD women's soccer team took the field yesterday in their 10th game of the season against Purdue. The Lady Terps had played well coming into last night's game, only losing 1 game out of their last 5. Starting with some first half action, the Lady Terps almost scored multiple times on the Boilermakers. In this first play, after a pass from forward Peyton Bernard, midfielder Ava Morales made a nice kick to try and score, but was just a little too strong as the ball flew over the goal. Sticking with play from the first half, forward and midfielder Lisa McIntyre also saw an opportunity to score and took it, but she also put too much power on her kick as well, resulting in no goal for the Lady Terps. Moving on to the second half, the Lady Terps made nice defensive plays such as this one by defender Kennedy Bell, where she had a nice header to prevent a Boilermakers pass and potential goal. In the end, neither the Lady Terps or Boilermakers could score, and the game ended in a tie, 0-0. You can catch the Lady Terps in action again on Sunday when they take the field versus Ohio State. Sticking with college sports, the Terps football team will take the field tomorrow against a conference foe in Michigan State. Like the Terps, the Spartans have played well to start the season as they are currently 2-1. And defensive lineman Donnell Brown talked about the challenge of going up against this Spartans offense.
I'll say with all the shifts that they do a lot of shifts. They like to run to the boundary a lot. It's a lot that they can do for us if we're not prepared. So I think this week is really important as far as like just starting out in the Big Ten fast and then just keep carrying our momentum like game by game, but just worried about like the game that we got like right now, and then just figuring out everything out on the way.
Quarterback Talia Tagovailoa also spoke recently and gave his thoughts on the Spartans' defense.
Like you said, they always have a good defense, like a bend don't break type of defense. Very athletic on the secondary, and they got good size and strength in the box with the front seven, and like every week, in the Big Ten, you're always going to be presented a good challenge, and we need to do a good job of starting fast and controlling the tempo of the game and finishing strong.
Kickoff is at 3:30. Meanwhile, the Commanders will be in action over the weekend, taking on the Buffalo Bills on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And that is your Friday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon, and that wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Patricia Vallone. Have a great weekend.